that is there. These are the three different modes: standalone mode, pseudo mode, and the full distributed mode. Okay. Now moving further, we are going to understand the two different or two important aspect regarding the Hadoop. So it is having two different components, or the two core components, you can say, HDFS and the MapReduce. Okay, so both are related to distributed computing. As you know that we are going to work on mm, aspect wherein your data, which is in terabytes or petabytes, it is not on the single machine, but it is going to reside on different machines, okay, which are geographically located, you can say separated, geographically they are separate from each other. And on that kind of data you are going to work in a parallel way, in a parallel manner, so that you will be able to achieve more things within less time. Okay, so MapReduce is believed to be the heart of this Hadoop, which is helping in parallel processing over the distributed data. So data is distributed means that there will be n number of machines which are working. Say for example, if I want to have these type of things, say for example here, if I say that this is a particular machine, then here it is one of the machine, then here it can be one machine, and all these machines are connected with each other. Okay, and being the data in a distributed manner, so every machine will have its own process running. Okay, process or thread, you can say, process or thread, that is working over here. One thread is working over here, one thread is working over here, and this type of threads are running in a parallel way. So simultaneously all these number of machines will be working on that data in a parallel manner, and that is how within less amount of time you are going to achieve more results. Okay, so that is the beauty of this Hadoop system, that is you are using the distributed computing. That means you are not relying on a single machine, that this is a single machine which is going to have the complete data and then this machine will only process the data. No, that is not the case. So you have simultaneously n number of machines which are network, in a network they are connected with each other, and they are working together to achieve the single task. The single task is subdivided, and the subdivided task is getting performed by these machine in a parallel way. Okay, so that is the beauty about this scenario. Okay, is it clear? So that is your HDFS and the MapReduce. Okay, don't worry about the terminology, we are going to see each and everything in detail, in greater detail, but I think the concept should be clear. Is it that anyone is not understanding what is the meaning of Hadoop? ऐसा कोई है क्लास में जिसको Hadoop यानी क्या ये नहीं समझा? If anyone is there, please let me know, because understanding the concept is very very important. Yes.
क्लियर है सर।
So everything is clear. Okay, so we will move further. So moving further, you have these two major components or major features of Hadoop, that is HDFS and the MapReduce. Okay, so HDFS is nothing but you have the Hadoop file system which is going to work on a kind of Linux or Unix based data storage layer. Okay, so it is Hadoop has its own rake-aware file system, which is based on the Unix data storage layer, and it is derived from the Google file system. Okay, so this HDFS has been its having its root in the Google file system. Okay, so the important characteristics of this Hadoop is the partitioning of data and computing across many, okay, that is thousands of hosts, and execution of the application computing in parallel. That means now you can imagine we have just drawn only four machines. Okay, so there will be n number of machines which are in thousands. Okay, you can see here it is thousands of hosts which are working in a parallel, and they are working on a single task. Okay, so close to their data on HDFS, the data files are replicated as a sequence of blocks on a cluster. So there is necessarily a cluster wherein all these data files are stored, and a Hadoop cluster scales the computational capacity, storage capacity, and input output bandwidth with simply adding the commodity servers. Okay, so there are going to be a different server which is working on these data in a different way and in a simultaneous manner. Okay, so HDFS can be accessed from the application in many different ways. So what are the characteristics of this? Okay, so just try to understand what is the characteristics of this. The first is that the characteristics of HDFS, it is fault tolerant. So what is the meaning of fault tolerant? Being fault tolerant means even if the fault has occurred in your system, because now you are working in a parallel, so it should happen that this system should work still, even though there are certain faults in your system. So you have n number of machines which are geographically distributed, and these systems, say one of the system gets failed due to any reason, then also the total work should not get halted. The total work should be going on. Suppose this is a machine which gets failed due to any reason. It may be the local machine has not working, or there is a power failure, or there is any other natural calamity. Because of whatever may be the reason, suppose this system stops working, so it should not happen that the complete system is getting affected. So being fault tolerant मतलब कि अगर ये सिस्टम ने काम करना बंद कर दिया तो मेरा पूरा सिस्टम बंद होगा क्या? नहीं होगा. I will be running the task with the help of these remaining nodes, isn't it? So that is nothing but being the fault tolerant. फॉल्ट टॉलरेंट मतलब अगर कोई एक सिस्टम, मेरी अगर कोई एक सिस्टम अगर बंद हो जाती है, तो इट शुड नॉट हैपन द कंप्लीट सिस्टम इज कोलैप्स, कि पूरा का पूरा सिस्टम ही कोलैप्स हो गया, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. ओके, सो दैट इज द केस ऑफ द फॉल्ट टॉलरेंट. फॉल्ट टॉलरेंट का मतलब समझ में आ गया सबको? इज इट ओके? Then runs with the commodity hardware. That means now you are having the hardware which is totally geographically distributed, and on this distributed hardware your data is getting loaded. You might be remembering that we have seen the data analytics life cycle, and in that life cycle you have extract, load, and transform. That is one of the phase: extract, transform, and load, ETL or ELT. That is, so it runs on different hardware because you have different set of hardware available with you, and that hardware is responsible for conducting that particular assigned task. So it is kind of commodity hardware. Why? Because one of the machine, if at all gets failed, then you will transfer that task or that job to another machine, and that another machine will take care of that task. Okay, so it is able to handle the large data set, obviously, because it is physically, geographically distributed in nature, and that is why it is able to handle the data set which are large in number. And then there is a master slave paradigm. मास्टर स्लेव पैराडिज्म का मतलब ये हो गया कि नाउ देर इज अ कंसेप्ट ऑफ master and slave. That means now this, suppose this is a system which is working as a master, then there will be n number of slave systems which are working on the task which is given by these master system. Okay, so which these are the individual slaves. Okay, and these are working the task on the task which is assigned by the master. So there is a master slave paradigm. Okay, and then it has write once, file access only. That means now you are able to write the file once only. Why? Because that file is going to get replicated on each and every node that is available in the network. That is, you are going to work on a distributed database. So database is not on a single machine, but it is distributed on these many number of machines. Okay, so these are the characteristics of HDFS. Is it clear everything? किसी को कोई दिक्कत है यहाँ पे? Characteristics of HDFS, प्लीज रेज योर हैंड अगर किसी को भी कोई दिक्कत है तो. Okay, so I hope everything is clear. If you have any query or doubt, you can use the chat box also. Okay, so should I move further? Just give me the confirmation that you all are with me. Yes, any kind of confirmation in chat box or with the voice message. Okay, so I assume all are with me. Yes, thank you. Then we are going to start with the map reduce. Then that is the second aspect, second component which is important. So it is a programming model for processing large data sets distributed on large cluster. So you already have the knowledge that your data is getting stored in a distributed manner and it is huge in nature. Okay, उसका जो क्वांटिटी है वो बहुत ज़्यादा ह्यूज है. Okay, so MapReduce is the heart of Hadoop, and this programming paradigm allows us to perform the operations on the massive data. Okay, again this is again derived from the Google MapReduce. Okay, and Hadoop MapReduce is a software framework for writing applications easily, which processes the large amount of data on the parallel manner. Okay, so there are thousands of nodes which are working simultaneously on the data set that has been assigned to them. Okay, so this paradigm is divided into two phases, that is map and reduce. Okay, so there will be two different phases. So if you try to understand what is the exact concept of map and reduce, it is simply that you are going to divide the data in different chunks of this and then you are mapping them with certain another chunks, and then you are going to process them in a simultaneous manner, that is parallel way you are going to process this data, and then lastly you are going to reduce it to get the concept of output. So that is map and reduce. So first task would be to subdivide a single task into these many number of tasks. So suppose this is your task T, and this is task T1, then there is a T2, then there is a T3, T4. So likewise there will be number of tasks that will be mapped with certain, say, hash values. Okay, suppose this is having the hash value 1, this is having the hash value 2. So likewise the hash values will be mapped. These will be processed, these values will be processed in a simultaneous manner, and then later on they will be reduced. Okay, so that is going to be the case. Okay, so that is the thing that you are going to do with the map and reduce. Okay, so that mainly deal with the key value pair of the data. Okay, so you have the key value pair of the data. The map and reduce task runs sequentially in the cluster, and the output of the map phase becomes the input of the reduce phase. Okay, so that is the map phase and reduce phase. So once divided, the data sets are assigned to different task tracker, and they perform the functions, that is the operation is performed on this map phase. And then the reducer phase, the reduce phase, the master node then collects the answers of all the sub problems and combine them to have the output. Okay, so that is the your map and reduce phase. Okay, so these are the 5 steps that you need to prepare to perform these parallelly. So preparing the map, so map input, you have the key 1 value 1, key 2 value 2, key 3 value 3. So likewise key value pair will be prepared. Okay, so it is it is using the map function to map these key values, and then you are going to shuffle these maps to produce the output using the this map phase. And then whatever it is getting derived, that is the output of this map phase will be provided as an input to the reduce phase using this reducer code. Okay, so again you can see over here in the reduce input, K2 list V2 will be given, and you will get the output as K3 V3. Okay, so likewise this will be performed, and then the final output will be produced. Okay, so that is your map and reduce phase. Okay, so I hope these two components and these two important features of the Hadoop you understand. Okay, is there anything that you don't understand? Just let me know.